Has God been calling you to do something, but you have found yourself gripped with fear and too afraid to make that next step to do it? If that resonates with you, you're going to want to stay tuned for this video. I'm going to be talking about my own experiences and how I partnered with God and my beautiful community to overcome the spirit of fear. Ever since I was a little girl, I considered myself a silent child. I was very quiet, very timid, wanted to melt into the walls, didn't want too much attention, but still wanted the attention at the same time. It was a constant battle, to be honest with you. And it wasn't until I got older and realized how much fear not only gripped me in my life, but it actually silenced me and kept me from speaking up. Over the course of my life, as I continued to grow older, I found myself not speaking up, not saying things, not standing up for things, not even standing up for myself. And I realized by coming to community that I was silenced by my fears. It wasn't something that I could associate and connect on my own. Like, I knew I was afraid of stuff, but I didn't quite know that the reason I was not speaking up and not showing up the way that I wanted to was because of fear. And so there was this internal battle constantly where I want to say something. I feel like I should say something, but I'm not going to say nothing because it feels unsafe. That unsafety I was feeling was the spirit of fear. As I grew older, I realized I had a pattern of being afraid of taking risks. I didn't want to do anything that took me out of my comfort zone. If I didn't have any type of grip of control over it, I was like, I don't know about the outcome. I was not willing to do it. But yet at the same time, I felt like this bold, courageous, adventurous person. It honestly didn't make sense. Then I got older and I began to experience some very traumatic things in my adulthood. I've experienced physical abuse. I have lost a child. I lost my mom when I was only 18 years old. And what I came to realize is all of that was just like a slow disengaging of me and my voice. I thought I was gripped by fear. I really became gripped by fear after having to experience those losses. From that place, I really began to isolate myself mentally, emotionally, physically, even sometimes, where I wasn't showing up and being my true, authentic self, all because of fear. I was afraid of having to experience those emotions and feelings all over again. I was willing to sacrifice and do anything to keep myself from experiencing that. It wasn't until I joined this community that I was able to really put a name to what it was that I was afraid of. Through community and through really seeing myself, I have a deeply rooted fear of being abandoned and rejected that literally began to run my entire life. Not only did those traumatic experiences contribute to this, but just in the way that I was raised, just in the things that I learned, just the way that I taught and how I adapted to life and processed or not processed things, it really contributed to how fear showed up. I would even dare to say that fear became such a familiar thing to me that standing up and being courageous was harder for me than to actually just cower in fear. A very key, important part to being able to overcome the spirit of fear is, one, I had to be positioned to actually receive and acknowledge that this is what's happening. There was a position in place where I was so prideful that I thought I knew everything there was to know about me. And I just allowed these patterns that fear had been telling me all of my life to be my reality, to be my identity. Oh, well, I'm just a quiet person. Oh, well, I'm just not that outgoing. Oh, well, I'm just a conservative person. No, God made me fearfully. God made me with so much freedom and expression. And all of that got snuffed out by the spirit of fear to the point to where I was solidifying my identity and who I was as an individual, who I was as a person. How some people would say they're introverts. I wouldn't necessarily identify as an introvert, but I would say things like, oh, well, I'm an introvert when I'm in public, but when I'm around people that I'm really comfortable with, I'm an extrovert. That is a whole lie. I'm an extrovert, no matter if I know the people or not. But it was really this spirit of fear that I had to overcome to really truly be able to be my authentic self, whether I'm at home in the comforts of my friends and family, or whether I'm out in public around strangers or associates. A key pillar for me was being joined to a community that was willing to put the mirror to my face, even if I pushed it away. So many times God will come into our life and he's like, hey, I'm calling you to do all this stuff. I'm calling you and I'm declaring over you, and this is who I'm calling you to be. But in order for you to be this, I need you to be able to see yourself and see how these things are affecting us. We know the scriptures. We can quote the scriptures, but it's like, what, God, do I actually need to do to be able to overcome this? I, for one, can say that joining this community, they were able to help me connect deeply to things that I had buried. So many of us have such a stronghold of fear in our life because of things that we experience that we buried so deep down, and they are tying us to the fears that are hindering us from being able to achieve the things that God is calling us to do tomorrow, today. If you're interested in learning more about our community, what we do, there is a guide in the description. You should definitely go download that, fill out your information, really rise up and empower yourself to overcome this spirit of fear. But you have to know that it starts with, 1, you being able to face your true self. 2, you taking accountability for the ways that you've come into agreement with. I came into agreement with the fact that I was an introvert. I came into agreement with the fact that I just wanted to melt into the walls. But God has called me to be a prophet of God, to raise up my voice, to raise a standard to these things. I can't do that unless I address the fears within my soul. Take that journey with God. It's not an easy one. The narrow road is narrow for a reason. A lot of people are not willing to submit and to allow themselves to go through the process of recognizing these things. I pray that this message blessed you, and we'll see you next time.